Jai Shri Gurudev. Today we are going to discuss about Watchman of the Lake, Scene 3. Okay. In the Scene 2, we already know that how could Mara meet the king and communicate about the sacred spot, Hanuman, Lakshman, the goddess in his dream, the river Veda, and the lake, etc. Okay, these are all the things we understood in scene 3. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about how did Mara take care of the lake as a watchman of the lake. We know that Mara is appointed as the watchman of the lake. Okay, after the lake is built, after the king invested money to build the lake, watchman of the lake is made, that is Mara. Mara is the watchman of the lake. As a watchman of the lake, Mara, he is given certain responsibilities, authorities. He has to follow certain rules and guidelines in order to take care of the lake. So, as per the law established by the king, he has to do his duties. He has to take care of the lake. He has to release the water for the people to grow crops in the region, and also he has to let the water for the people in order to quench the thirst of the cattle, and also to feed the corn fields. Okay, so like that he has to do certain responsibilities with respect to the lake. Now he is doing that job very honestly. Okay, no one can question him, no one can ask any question related to his authority, his responsibility in that region. Such is the power of the watchman of the lake, that he is doing very honestly. We know that. Okay, so now let us move on to the detailed things which are part of scene 3. Okay. Okay, now the scene 3 starts. Many years later, Mara standing before his hut on the bank of a vast lake. There is a mingled noise of wavelets breaking upon the shore, cries of gulls, and the rustling of tree leaves. Mara, boy, little Ganga, Ganga, a distant voice. Father, I am coming. Mara, where are you gone, little man? Sound of running feet. Ganga, here I am, father. You are shouting as if something or the other had happened. I was only behind the tree watching. What were you watching? Ganga, there is a man fishing in the lake. Mara, fishing? Fishing? Where? Hey, man, get up. What are you doing here? Nothing. Now, here in this part, we are going to understand that uh, the scene 3, how it starts. We know that the lake is already built across the river Veda. Mara is now the watchman of the lake. He is living on the bank of the lake in his hut with his wife and a son. The lake is a vast lake. He is a watchman of that lake. The wavelets of the lake are breaking upon the shore. They are making huge noise. The birds are also flying over the lake. The wind is blowing like anything. At that time, Mara is watching over the lake, and then he remembered suddenly about his son Ganga. He is already having his son. Okay, Mara called his son Ganga, who was a small child. Okay, the son came running to him. Mara asked him where he had gone. Ganga said that he was standing behind the tree watching something. Okay, Mara asked him what he was watching. Ganga told him that a man was fishing in the lake. Mara went to the spot where the man was fishing. Mara started to shout at the man, asked what he was doing. The fisherman said that he was not doing anything. Okay, for that, how the fisherman said and all those things are explained here in this thing. Okay, now Mara has gone to the place where exactly the fisherman was fishing from the lake, and he asked him what was he doing with his rod and hook. For that, the fisherman said he was not doing anything, and also he said that he was not catching the fish from the lake. When he said that, Mara became very angry, and then he started to tell like this, and he asked a few questions. Nothing? Then why that rod and hook in your hand? And how did all these fish come into your basket? Did they walk in while you are watching the sky? Go, man, go before you are pushed into the lake. He said like this. If he was not catching the fish, then what was he doing? What was he doing with his rod and hook in his hand? And how did all the fish came into his basket if he was not catching the fish? Whether they walked in by themselves when he was just watching the sky? Like this, he asked few questions to the fisherman, and also he warned him to go away from the lake. If he was not going, he was going to push him into the lake. That is the last warning he gave to him. He gave a warning like that he was going to be pushed into the lake, and he was going to be killed. Okay, like that he warned the fisherman. The fisherman said, no, no, he is afraid. He is afraid of Mara. For that, he said, no, no, I was not catching fish. I speak the truth. He started to tell again some more lies. By saying he was not catching the fish, he said the lie. When he said that, Mara again said like this, I have been a watchman of this lake for years, and have come across hundreds of storytellers like you. This is my last warning to you. If I see you again with that rod and hook, I will push you into the water, and the fish will feed on you. Do you understand? Now here, go your fish back where they belong. Do you see, my son? When I am gone, you will be the guard here. This is what you must do with killers. Whether they come with arrow for the gulls which skim over the water, or with the rod for the fish, this place is sacred and belongs to the goddess, and her command is that nothing that flies or swims or walks in these parts should ever be killed. From my hut, I have often seen at dead of night a tiger come down from the mountain, slaking its thirst at that distant corner, but even that has to go untouched. Such is the command of the goddess and the king. Now begone, you fish. Mara is saying like this. He has seen several people like that fisherman who tells lots of stories, because he was the watchman of the lake. That was from many years. From many years he was appointed as the watchman of that lake, and he was very well experienced about various kinds of people who had come to that region and who had told lots of stories to Mara to make him believe, to bluff him, but he had not believed. He was very much experienced in that region, how to take care of that lake and all the subjects of the king. Okay, that's why he warned the fisherman, saying that he must go away from that region, otherwise he was going to push him into the lake. Then all the fish were going to feed on him, and he was going to die. That is how he warned that fisherman at last. And also he told his own son how he had to take care of that region, how he had to take care of all the birds, animals, fish and other things in that region. Of course, we know that his son Ganga is a very small child at that time. But after he grew older, after he became matured, after he became a man, he also had to do the duty of his father, that is Mara as the watchman of the lake. Now he is saying that after his death, it means after Mara's death, how his son Ganga had to take care of that region is being advised by him to his son. Okay, he is saying that there is a command in that region. There is a command of the goddess and the king in that region. Any animal, whether it is a bird, fish, or any other animal, that was not supposed to be killed in that region. That was the law. That was the command of the goddess. That was the law established by the king as well. Even he had seen the tiger was not getting disturbed when it came down from the mountain to get uh, quenched its thirst. Even when it came in the night time, he was taking care in such a way that the tiger was going without getting disturbed from that region. So such was the way he was taking care of that region. The same way he expected, he wished that his son too was going to take care of the land after his death. Having said that, he released all the fish into the lake. All the fish went into the lake. Now they are going back home. Okay. Now uh, the fisherman has become very angry when he was warned by Mara. Okay. For that, that fisherman is saying like this, man, you are after all only a watchman. You are not the master of this place. Are you not taking upon yourself more than your duty? He said that he was just a watchman. He was not the master of that place. Even then, he was behaving too much. That is what that fisherman told to Mara. When he said that, Mara became again very angry, and he spoke with full confidence, with full authority to that fisherman. What he says, let us see. Mara, I am the master of this place. He is saying that he was the master of that place. He was not just the watchman of that place. He was the master of that place. It means master of that lake. It means he was the owner of that lake. It means he was having the full control, full authority, full responsibility of that region, of that lake. He had the power to monitor that region, and he had the power to give full protection to that region. How did he become so? That is said like this. The king made me so. It means how he could become the master of that region. The king has made him the master of that region. But for me, Veda would have run away and disappeared as she was doing before. He is saying that he is the person who was the sole person, who was the responsible person for making that river Veda to stop here. If he was not there, that river Veda would have been running just like how she was doing before, and she was going to disappear after reaching some distance. It is only because of Mara the river Veda is staying there in that lake, and it is giving the nourishment for all the king's subjects. It is I who gave her a home where she stays and nourishes the cornfields of thousands of the king's subjects. He is saying that thousands of acres of land is being fed with water only because he advised, he approached, he requested the king to build a lake across the river Veda and to give a home for the river Veda. Otherwise, all the king's subjects were not getting the water at all if he had not approached the king to build the lake across the river Veda. Now look along the bank. Do you note its length? A fling from the strongest sling will not take stone to the other end of the bank. It is I, by the king's order, watched every stone with which this bank was built, and I opened the gates that let the water into the fields. He is saying, what is the length of the bank? What is the length of the embankment which is for that lake? They have built the lake across the river Veda. They have they have constructed an embankment. What is the length of that embankment for that lake? It is a very lengthy one. A fling from the strongest sling will not take the stone to the other end of the bank. It means to say that if a person throws a stone with the help of the tool, instrument, strongest sling, that is not going to reach the other end of the bank. That is the length of the bank. It is a very long, it is a long one. Okay. How it has come into existence? It is, I by the king's order watched every stone with which this bank was built. He is saying that Mara, having taken the order from the king, he built that lake. He watched each and every stone which was taken for building that bank. He took care of each and every stone which was laid for that embankment. That is how he worked hard to build the lake. And I opened the gates that let the water into the fields. He is also given some responsibility as per the law which is established by the king. He has to release the water for the cornfields. It is that responsibility given for Mara only. Mara has become the gate opener. He is going to release the water whenever it is required for the cornfields. If it is not required, he is going to stop. When to stop, when to open, and how much to release, and how much to when to be stopped. All those things are given to him. That power is with him. It is that he says like this: I know how much to give and when to stop, and I tend the lake and see that it is not polluted by man or beast. It is not that only he releases the water whenever it is required, and whenever it is not required, he is going to stop the water. It is also that he is going to take care of the land in such a way that it is not polluted by anyone. Whether it is a man or a beast, it is not going to be allowed to pollute that lake. That way he is able, and he is given authority. He is having the full control over that lake. That is what he says. Even that headman of the village who once beat and bullied me will have to take my permission if he wants to touch the water. He is saying that there is a village headman. Once upon a time he had full powers on all over the people of that village. It means even Mara was once bullied or beaten by that village headman regarding his interest in meeting the king regarding the lake. When Mara wanted to meet the king to tell about the goddess' wish, to tell about his dream, to tell about the lake, to tell about the building of the lake across the river Veda, he was beaten, he was bullied, he was not permitted. Such a powerful person also has to take Mara's permission if he wants to touch the water from the lake. That is how he is bestowed with some power by the king. Here I am the king, no one can question me. He is saying that I am the Mara himself is the king of that region, and no one is having the power to question Mara. Now go away. I have spoken to you more than you deserve. He is saying that fisherman, he has spoken to him more than he deserved. He was a petty man, he was a little man, he was spoken too much. That is how he scolded that fisherman to go away from that region without speaking to Mara. And also he is saying he was not just speaking to that fisherman, he was also watching all around the region what was going on. Okay, he had eye on each and every activities in that region. Now he says, now little fellow, my son, you see that see that man, they're taking his cow to the water's edge. Run on and tell him not to take it there. It is very deep at that spot. If his cow slips, warn him to move off a little. Go on, go on. Now he called his own son Ganga, and he told him to go and see the man who was taking his cow to the water's edge. In fact, a man was taking his cow to the water's edge. He was taking that cow to water. Okay. The problem was the spot was very deep. It was a dangerous spot. If he had taken that cow nearer to that water's edge where it was very deep, there was a chances of danger happening to that cow as well as to that man. That's why he sent his own son to inform that fellow not to take his cow nearer to the water's edge. He went. That little fellow Ganga also went there to inform him. Okay, like this he was taking care of that region. A visitor, Mara. Behind Mara there was a man standing, and he was waiting for Mara's attention. Now that man, that visitor called Mara. Then Mara turned to him. Mara, oh brother, when did you come? He started to speak to that visitor, and he asked when did he come to meet him. Then visitor said, just this moment. I left my village at sundown yesterday, and I have walked without a pass. He told that he reached that place just that moment, and he left his village yesterday evening, and he walked without a rest, without taking rest. All the way he walked, and he reached that place because he had come on a very urgency that was very important from the point of his people, his village. Okay. For that, Mara said like this, come into my hut and have some food. Mara understood that that visitor had not taken rest, had not taken food. That's why he took that visitor to his hut to give him something to eat. There is bound to be something you can munch, though nothing very good. He told that they have something to eat, though it was not of good. He could have something, and he could fill his stomach with something. He also mentioned that my wife is away. I and my son are running the house. Only he and his son were there in the hut. His wife was away. Therefore, he could not offer him something good, but he was ready to give him something to eat. He took that visitor to his hut. Then, visitor, I have come all the way to ask a favor of you. You know, our village is the farthest in our king's domain, and crops parch up and cattle are dying of drought. Will you give us some water? That visitor, all the way he has come to meet Mara to ask a favor. What is that favor? He wanted some water because his village was very far from the lake, and it was not having water. The crops, the cattle, the people were all suffering without water. That's why he had come to ask water from Mara. For that, Mara assures like this, certainly brother. It means he was ready to give water for the village of that visitor. Okay. It is here for all the king's subjects to take. It means that lake is not only for that small region, for all the subjects of the king. it means all the people of that kingdom could utilize the water from the lake. Tomorrow I will come with you and see where you can lay the channels. It means there was no channel to release the water at all to that village. The visitors village did not have the channels to get the water. So now he is saying that he was going with him to see how where the channels could be laid down. And as soon as you have done it, it means once the channel is ready, the water is yours. It means the water is going to be released to his village. It will be led to you according to the law laid down by the king. It means the king has given some rules. According to that only he was going to release the water for his village. He said that. Oh, do you notice there the heart of the lake muddying? It means the color of the lake was getting changed. It means the color of the lake was becoming muddying. Muddy color means mud color. It was getting changed to mud color. It means the water was getting into the lake. It was suffered like only a moment ago. It means it was clear. The sky could be seen on the bosom of the lake, but it is not so. It is changed to a mud color. Okay. Now it is an alarming situation. That's why he has become very alert. It was not that he was only speaking to that visitor, he was also seeing each and everything which was going on around that region of that lake. Okay. See those clouds at the mountain top. It means the clouds are dark on that mountain top. There is a heavy rain there. He also saw that it was raining heavily. Veda is swelling and carrying mud and flood into the lake. He observed that the flood was coming into the lake and it was bringing lots of mud. That is how the water was getting changed. Okay, I must keep an eye on her tonight. He also decided that he had to take care of the lake on that particular night because it was going to cause some danger for the lake. He called his son. Boy, come here. He said like this. Let us go in. I fear there will be heavy rain on us soon. He told his son that it is going to rain heavily and they had to be in the hut, having been afraid of the danger which was going to happen because of the heavy rainfall. He alerted his own son and they all went inside the hut and they settled down. Okay, like this the scene 3 is going to end. It means from this scene we are going to understand that how Mara is behaving with respect to his duties and his obligations. It means as a watchman of the lake how he has to take care of that region and what is the power which is given to him and how he behaved with respect to the concerns of others of that region. When a visitor came to meet him, how he allowed him to speak, how he agreed to release the water as per the law established by the king in that region. So like this it went on and it ended as well. Okay.